Well, it is National Farm Safety Week, and with harvest equipment in action and winter months approaching, it is important to make sure your operation is staying safe. Joining us on the phone with some safety advice for your farm is Bernard Geschke. He's with the Progressive Agriculture Foundation. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time today, Bernard.
Well, thank you, Janet. We appreciate the invite.
So, of course, as we mentioned, with harvest season in full swing, what advice do you have for farmers dealing with those long hours and, of course, the large equipment?
Well, this is a busy time of the year, and once after that crop dries down and those farmers are getting at it, it's usually one of those situations where they're running day and night. But when you're dealing with long hours, people just got to remember their body needs sleep. You know, your body needs food, it needs water, and it needs sleep. So we just got to keep reminding people, because just too many times we've heard situations where, you know, farmers have fallen asleep in the tractor, the combine, or the truck. So the long hours are definitely something we have to deal with. As far as the large equipment, you know, the equipment gets bigger and bigger every year. Combines, trucks, the semis, and you know, when you're dealing with that kind of equipment and the larger equipment, you have many more blind spots, or the blind spots are larger. So it's so important to do a walkabout around your equipment before you get on that equipment to move it and even back it up, that type of thing. And the scary thing is sometimes that large equipment is sitting right on the farmstead. Well, if it's sitting on the farmstead and there could be kids there, because that's right where those kids live, work, and play, and it is so important to make sure everything is clear before moving that large equipment.
Oh, we just crossed into fall, but winter is just around the corner. And as that cold weather comes about, what should viewers keep in mind in regards to, of course, turning on heaters and also, of course, keeping animals safe?
Well, that's extremely important this time of year, and as it starts cooling off, people will be turning those heaters on, and some of those heaters have been sitting there idle all summer, and they could be in hog confinements, poultry confinements, even in the barns, and they gather a lot of barn dust, and a lot of grain and feed dust and stuff builds up on those heaters, and all of that can ignite. So it's just extremely important that they give those heaters all a really good cleaning, and that before the cold weather sets in, so once after the cold weather sets in, they're ready to turn on and to be used. So dealing with the animal safety, this is kind of the time of the year people start bringing their animals in. You know, all summer the animals have, you know, cattle been out in the pasture and pretty much hands-off situation, and now they're bringing those cattle in. A lot of times this is the weaning time of the year, so now you got to take care of the cows, you got to take care of the calves, and when feeding becomes a daily chore, well, then it also becomes a bigger danger, because now we're moving those big hay bales around. We're grinding feed. We're mixing different types of feed. Sometimes this is being done in the mud. So there are more dangers and more concerns of moving this equipment around, slips and falls. And again, you're usually doing all of this grinding and moving of hay around the farmstead, again, where those kids could possibly be involved.
Well, Bernard, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. We appreciate it. Bernard Geschke, he is with the Progressive Agriculture Foundation, joining us on the phone from Nebraska.